Hello and welcome to Coxie's Picks and welcome to Project Restoration. So we've got these very rusty old, I can only describe as high at best because we can just make it out there, some writing and some writing there. And I'm hoping that we can get these to actually shine. Now there was another set that Deadlock's picked and they're already winging their way to Deadlock's. So the first things first, we want to get these open. So I've got a slight advantage because I've got one or two Derby cuffs with a lot of keys that I could then utilise to try and find a key that would work with this particular set. So I went through all of them and still looking and still looking and still looking and still looking, and I was going through and I couldn't find anything that would open them, which is a shame. And then it dawned on me, why don't I look in my spare key drawer? So I've got a couple of spare keys, alright, and would you believe it, one of them actually worked, but it doesn't actually open them, which is probably part of the problem. So if I take the key, and I'll demonstrate what I mean. So this side is already gunked up to beyond belief that we can't get the key in, so I use the other side, and I notice, and it turns beautifully all the way in, which is great, but it's rusted solid. So what I need to do is I need to get rid of some of this rust, and the easiest and the quickest way I know how is with a chemical dip. So I'm going to chemical dip these and then give a light clean, and hopefully we'll have freed up some of the oxidation and the rust over here so that we can actually get into the cuff. But at least we've got a key that sort of fits, so we might be alright. So on with a chemical dip. I think 24 hours should be more than enough. Okay, so it's had its chemical dip. It's sort of looking okay. We've got some words now. We've got best, warranted, wrought, but as you can see it still needs some serious TLC and we're still seized, which is not good. So I'm going to take full advantage of having a rotary tool, and I seem to have the world's largest supply of brushes and scribblers, so we'll see what we can do. Obviously that's going to be rather loud and noisy on the microphone, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that off camera and then show you the results afterwards. Also, when playing with chemicals, people, wear gloves. Okay, I thought it'd be worthwhile to show you a quick update. So we've got one side that's been whizzed and the other side that hasn't, and you can see we're getting there. However, right, still seized, need to work on that one. We've got the words best, warranted. There's some words here that I'm going to try and figure out what they say as well. But yeah, and then I've got that tricky bit with the swivel as well, so I've got to sort that one out. But yeah, coming along. Lovely. Okay, so we've got the majority of the rust off and the debris off. There's still some bits in the grooves, but I might be able to get that out with a polish. However, I've got a bigger problem, which is these are still locked. So I need to figure out a way of getting these open, and during the cleaning process I have noticed that I have pinned Derby cuffs, which as you can see is held in place by 1, 2, 3 pins, and on this side 1, 2 and 3 pins. So I'm going to need to figure out a way of getting these pins out so that I can remove the cap and hopefully be able to free up this, and then we'll be able to get the bow open. But I think I need to research that a little bit, but I will try and come up with an idea. I think it was just lead when it was poured in, so I might be able to make a substitute with an additional pin and then file it flat, but we shall see. However, let's see if we've got any maker's markings. And let's bring it up to the camera so you can see, and that just says best, unfortunately, and my best guess on this one is warranted, wrought, and there is a number sort of embossed there, so you can just make it out. And then if we go on to the other, oh, I knocked the camera, so sorry. And then we go on to this side, you can see not a lot of wordage there, and then still nothing else there, so heavily pitted. But now you can see that there's a 1 and what looks like a 0, so maybe this was cuff number 10, who knows. But in all the excitement I did find a key, so that's how I know that these are seized. So here's a key, just clean off all that grime. that comes from within the barrel. And I shall show you one of the other problems that I've got. So, cuff number 1, I can get it to start. I've only got it on for 2 threads and then it starts to spin. Someone's tried to mess around with that barrel before. That's a shame, because that's going to be a real treat to try and get out. Then we got this one. It screws in and then we are solid. Now I could try and force this, but I'll risk snapping the key in the body, which will be a pain, so I don't know. I think my best bet is to go through the barrel. I'm going to read up on it and see if I can use heat, because if I can use heat then that might help out. But so this is where I'm at the minute. This is going to be a long haul, so watch this space.